You and can't wait to see you in a couple of weeks. And
I'm looking forward to it, my friend.
I'm just looking forward to the collaboration and in a long term relationship of changing lives.
Absolutely. Get as many people trained up as possible.
Love it.
I say stick with the fish metaphors.
Oh,
I
you
always
say?
say it.
It's pretty good, I gotta say.
It's unique, man. I love it. It's so different.
Relatable.
All right,
Yeah.
Steve, we're going to jump to you. Are you still in Hawaii? How's Hawaii? What's the weather like in Hawaii? We're going from Arkansas to Hawaii.
Well, aloha to all of your listening audience and to your fellow out today. I literally just got back from a swim and a run, and dialed right in. And Robert, I just want to sing your praises. You live up to your name. You're constantly adding value to others. And I didn't come on here to talk about me today. I came on here to celebrate you, and here you are letting everybody talk about themselves. But I just want to say I'm trying to remember how we met. I think it was through Nikki Kiohoho, I think.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, when we met, I sensed that synergy, and I just very much appreciate you and want to celebrate with you your big day, or big episode, I guess you'd call it.
Well, I appreciate that. I love obviously celebrating, but your specialty is play. So tell us about play. What's
That's
happening
right.
in the world of play?
So since I was on your podcast, our company Play Lab has finally finished its pilot version of what's called the Play Lab project. And we take that to corporations. Any company, if say 50 or more, is suited for a program like this. And the program is designed to take people literally on an adventure. That's an experiment with one outcome. How do we create more highly productive, mentally well workplaces? So companies that have plugged into that to start first part of June, and through this information, will help companies make the correlation that play is not the opposite of work, rather it's the propulsion for work. And so we're pretty excited about that. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And on the heels of that, this fall, we've listened to our audience that while the was our target because we have the greatest reach there, it's the hardest mountain to climb. So by the fall, we have a full program that we're going to make available to coaches, consultants, others, to take the things we've learned the last 10 years and implement them as tools on their tool belt, or toys in their tool belt, if you will, to support their work their way. So we got some exciting things, and it's a long road to get businesses to think playfully, because business is always driven by profit, but somehow most businesses today still have not made the correlation between mental wellness and high productivity. They just have no clue. So it's a lot of opportunity up front of us.
All right. I just got to throw a shout out to you because a while back you did a 24-hour
Yeah, so we're pretty excited. And on the book front,
That's incredible.
So 24-hour
36 hours, brother.
Oh, 36.
Marathon podcast.
Woo.
No, you're done. No, you're done. It was 36 hours and 5 minutes. I broke a Guinness Book of World Records for swinging on a swing to launch the Swing Into Mental Health Month back in October. And the damn piece of paper ain't worth anything anymore because somebody's broken it already, and I'm not going to do it
no.
again. But it was a lot of fun, and it brought a lot of awareness.
Yeah.
Well, here's the truth. Sometimes it's there, and sometimes it's not.
This is true, Steve. Steve, thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate all that you're doing. Colleen, let's talk about fishing metaphors. Are you in Vegas?
I do not like to fish, and I'm in Arizona. So I don't really have any bodies of water really close to me that allow that anyway. Although they just built a huge fishing pond in my community, and I have one son-in-law and little grandkids that just love to fish, and I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I was on an excursion one time in a mastermind, and we went deep sea fishing. And my luck, I was catching the most fish and was so grossed out by it. I had to put my pole down and say, I'm out of here. I can't do this anymore. It's cruel. I don't want to catch any of these fish unless I'm going to eat all of them. And they were throwing them back. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're going to die. Why would you do that? So there is a side of me that has this soft heart for animals, and I especially fish because I love to eat them.
All right. So, Colleen, tell us your metaphor then for what you're doing right now and what's happening in your world.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I have a metaphor for what I'm doing. I'll tell you this. If you are not being seen, being heard, and being visible, you might as well just be in a paper bag. Should I say that? Like, you might as well just close up shop. It's like people are locked down in their houses and they think people are going to just come to them. It doesn't work that way. So I have produced a community and have so many wonderful ways for people to be able to be seen, be heard, and be visible and get out there. Then you'll attract people to you. That will definitely happen. As you can tell, I have a lot of high energy. I'm always this way. I attract people to this big personality. If someone doesn't like that personality, they're not going to be attracted to me, right? If they don't like that I love to talk about peak performance and I really am driven on high performing habits and I do workshops on them and I'm all about servant leadership and believe it's earned and it's not something that's just given. Someone might think, well, I want to be just given leadership. They're not going to be attracted to me, Robert. So, for me, I'm super blessed in the last couple of years that I have gotten the attention of some local companies that are very interested in doing workshops with me. And I've been doing a lot of keynote speaking. And, a lot of it happens because of podcasts like yours, Robert. So I just want you to know that the adding value to entrepreneurs podcasts and I've had you on mine. I've done a podcast. We've promoted your podcast. I've sent several guests your way. The visibility and the collaboration piece is so important as entrepreneurs and giving back to each other. And 300 episodes is like freaking awesome, man. Congratulations. It's really good. And then retiring your wife and bringing your wife into the business with you, like, dude, you're killing it. I follow everything you do, by the way. Don't think I don't. You're killing it.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I do have to credit referrals and I'm going to throw the word out there because Brandon's down there in the corner, but referrals have really made the difference from the very first episode. I've asked every single guest, who do you know that needs to be a guest on the show? And if you enjoyed this conversation, who are you willing to introduce me to? And the reason that I'm at 300 so fast is because every guest doesn't introduce me to one person. They introduce me to 2 or 3. And I mentioned it about an hour ago. I think every guest that I've been introduced to has just been incredible. And I've recorded 300 episodes that we've published, and I've only had 2 episodes that really weren't usable. And one of them was because their internet was bad, not because they were a bad guest. And the other one so I had one poor quality guest out of all the people I've been introduced to. And so it's just been incredible. The network of people and the relationships and the collaborations and the love. Like this is about love. I've created something so amazing in all these connections. And podcasting is so incredible in that way. And so, Colleen, I thank you for your show. I thank you for the impact you're making and your giant personality that you're putting out into the world.
You are the only one that came with a spreadsheet. I'm telling you right now. I just remember you saying all of the people you wanted to interview that you had. And I was like, I know some of these people on this list because I've interviewed them on my podcast. And I was like, I'll introduce them to some of these bigger hitters that he thinks he, needs to meet and wants to interview. So it's huge, but you're answering the call to what every single person listening to this needs to know today, that in order to build your net worth of your network, you need to be depositing equity into your social capital of who you know and who knows you. You do those 2 things, it makes all the difference in the world. Then you get to sit here and celebrate 300 episodes because of that.
Yes,
it's what it is all about.
All right, Colleen, how do people find you?
Oh, they find me at ColleenBiggs.net. And would you guys already go over to LinkedIn and find me and connect with me and say, hey, I heard you on the 300 episode celebration today. And I'm streaming live right now. Just just so you know, to my channels too, because I think it's important for all of us to be partnering with Robert and streaming this out live for him as well. So ColleenBiggs.net, or anyone can look me up on the internet. I'm like the first 5 pages of Google. So there's some
so
other
great.
Colleen Biggs out there, but my personality is too big. It just bumped them to page 6, I guess.
There you go. I
I
love
don't
it.
know.
Love it. Colleen, thank you so much for coming on. Thanks for
Bye,
all that you've
Robert.
done
Good
in
luck,
connecting
everyone.
us.
It was great meeting you. See ya. Bye-bye.
Lisa,
Hello, Robert.
how are you today?
Congratulations, my friend. This is impressive. 300.
Thank you so much. And you were
Purple.
such a big part of it.
I
And
love it.
you and I
said
play in
only,
the same.
only one small flop. I hope that wasn't the Lisa J coaching
Well,
segment.
you know it wasn't, because you saw your episode. It was out there. So love your episode, love your book, love your retreats that you're taking people on for Mindset Reset. Please tell us how you're making an impact. What's your next retreat coming up? What wonderful place in the world are you going?
Well, in 2 weeks, we all leave for Vienna. Yes, my
Woo.
next mastermind retreat is in Austria, Vienna,
Love
Austria.
it.
And we have just some phenomenal entrepreneurs, female, male entrepreneurs that are coming together with one goal in mind. And that is to create the mindset that can attract everything they want to create, to have an impact on the world, and to create the kind of income that they deserve and want. So we'll be partying hardy with the Mindset Reset in Vienna. And then after that, we're going to Bali. So those are the next retreats. But
Love it.
Robert, what you don't know in our really, really big news is we have launched a publishing company.
Fantastic. Tell us more.
Well, you know, I love helping my clients write books. I think a book can truly change someone's life. A book. A book can change the world. So
Absolutely.
I have partnered with my daughter, who is an editor. How apropos. See, I don't have to be the smart one. I can just be the engaging one. But she's the one that just makes it just each word sing, and the book comes together. We have a full staff of 7 people that helps people take an idea and bring it all the way down to a manuscript. And then we publish that book and then teach them for 6 months how to market that book.
Ooh, so good.
And it's called Hope Publishing House.
Hope Publishing House.
We want to bring hope. We want to bring hope to the world.
That's fantastic. Where can people find them?
Go to hopepublishinghouse.com, or for my retreats, lisajcoaching.com.
All right, Lisa J Coaching, hopepublishing.com. Love it. Thank you so much, Lisa. Love the impact you're making. Love the fact that you're taking people all around the world to reset their mindsets.
Yeah.
And just publishing a book is the greatest thing anyone can do. So if you're listening and you want to publish a book, reach out to Lisa and her daughter and get that done.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Robert. And congrats again on number 300. Here's
Thank you.
600.
Absolutely. Evans, my friend, how are you today, buddy?
Hey, Robert. Good to see you. Good to see you. I feel like it's been forever.
Yeah, like yesterday.
Right?
Maybe it was
thank
2
you for
days
having
ago.
me on. And
We were live promoting. I did a live episode. This is actually the second live episode officially, because we recorded Evan's episode live, although the podcast world will get the recorded version, of course. But we did live together because you're promoting an event coming up, and we wanted to make sure we got the word out there soon enough.
yeah. And thank you. I appreciate you for that. That's one thing that, to come celebrate you, first of all, for 300th. And that just shows how amazing you are, Robert. And I'm so grateful for that, because you actually offered me, you're like, hey, you're doing this thing. Let's do a live recorded podcast episode. And I'll open up my schedule. We'll do it this week. We'll get the podcast out ASAP to meet the timeline. And that just was so kind of you. And so I'm so grateful for that. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, so tell us about your event coming up and what can people expect?
Yeah, I'm excited. So it's called, as you know, it's called Infinite Impact Live. And I'm going to be helping those. And it's funny, I posted the other day, I actually asked this question, who in my audience felt had a purpose, and they just started pouring in. So I knew I was onto something. So I'm working with purpose-driven entrepreneurs who I just absolutely love to serve. and to help them get their message out, to shine their light into the world, to change lives like they're meant to. It's their calling, their life's calling. I'm sure everybody in this room has one as well. And I'm giving them what I've discovered is a proven blueprint to create cash infusion days in your business, 5, 6, 7 figures, in a very easy way to do it, where you've heard my story, Robert. I launched my first one in literally 2 weeks and committed to this system and grew my business over 400%, the revenue over a 12-month period by focusing on one thing. So I'm trying to get people to fall in line. Like, don't do like me. Don't spend 15 years of your career chasing every shiny object, chasing every tactic, every strategy that's out there, and not giving yourself permission to not be good for a little bit before you get really good at something. And that's what I'm going to help, is install that same blueprint that I've used with my own business to help these purpose-driven entrepreneurs, because I know if they can create, cash flow confidence in their business, it gives them a stress-free relationship with their business where they can go out and really serve at a higher level. And my whole goal is to help create an army of impact influencers that are out there taking back that word influence and, creating a better world for each of us. So that's what I'm excited about, Infinite Impact Live. And,
all right, Evans, how can
Robert,
people find it?
Yeah, I was going to tell you real quick. I sent Noel a chat. I created a special gift, just a video I'd love to share with people that's going to give them a 3-step roadmap to more freedom, fulfillment, income, and impact in 2023 and beyond. And I wanted to just gift that to the folks that are watching this, and they can get it really easy. I love how everybody's doing texting. So it's the same thing. You just text the word video. That's VIDEO, video, to 33777. So it's video to 33777, and you'll get access to that video.
Well, Evans, thanks so much for the great gift. Thanks for putting on such a great event. And I know people that are listening are going to jump in and check that out. And so appreciate you, appreciate all the help you've been to our podcast. And I know to other podcasts that I know you've helped along the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And congratulations again, and appreciate you, my friend. And look forward to hearing everybody else's stories that's in the room too. So thank you all for showing up.
Absolutely. Andy Hoffman, how are you today?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for the privilege to jump back on. It was great to meet you the first round, and I was very flattered to be invited back for this celebratory 300th episode. So congratulations. And fun fact, you're actually the first podcast I was on after going out on my own. So very delighted to be here.
Well, we're glad you're still out on your own. So I know you're doing financial work, teaching people how to handle their money. So what's happening in Andy's world? What are you doing?
Yeah, thank you. It's funny. I spent so many months building out a course to help people kind of automate everything in their financial life. And that's what, a little bit what we talked on our last conversation. I've since continued to grow that, doing kind of ads and all that fun stuff. But also I've been pivoting into coaching, and that's been really fruitful for me and giving me a chance to see things through a different lens and help people one-on-one. And I'm slowly rolling out a group format as well. And things are growing and going well. And so I'm just excited to be here and have the opportunity to hopefully inspire someone else that's listening that might be thinking about going out on their own and taking the leap. And it's been a wild ride for me so far, and I'm excited for more to come.
Nice. So if someone needs some financial teaching, help in their finances and budgeting, Andy, how can they find you?
Absolutely. You can check out a lot of my free content on at rogue.finance on Instagram and YouTube as well. I'm trying to put out a lot of video and just, really think through this lens of what's the abundance mindset, right? And giving it away for free. And so I'm really trying to do that more and more these days. So that's a great place. You can email me at hi@andyhoffman.me or check out automaticmoneyflow.com where the course is hosted.
Automatic money flow, man. I like that.
Thank you. We're trying.
All right, Andy, thanks so much for joining us today. Just appreciate you, appreciate the work you're doing, and love that you're going out on your own, and hopefully you get on more and more podcasts.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the help. Thank you, Robert. Congrats again.
Thank you. Dr. Ilya.
Hello.
I'm not even sure we've released your episode yet, but here you are.
No, I think you did, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. And then I shared it with people that I know. I shared it with, a few thousand people. People love it.
Good. Well, I appreciate
I
your
just love
story.
hearing myself talk.
Well, I mean, really, who doesn't?
No, I don't like it that much, but you got to do what you got to do. You know, I need to get the word out, and not a lot of people are. You know what? I was trying to figure out like how this came to be. Like, I'm here now. You guys are here, and you're having your 300th episode. I really, really appreciate your taking the time to not just let me on, but let all these people on to share their message in such a open way. It's making a big difference in the world. But I was trying to figure out. Go ahead.
You were introduced to me by Dominic Dominski, and so that's how you got on the show. And he's promoting your book. So tell us about your book.
Okay, so my book is about health and healthcare, and that's what I was trying to figure out was, you know, why do I need to write a book like this anyway? I mean, it's not like I was that excited about spending 3 years of my life to try to, you know, write a book about something that I could have just been, you know, hanging out at the gym or traveling or something like that. But what I've come to realize, and what most people already know, is that in the United States, especially, we're taught to be unhealthy. We have misinformation programs, and there's no other area of science that I know of that has more misinformation than there is in healthcare. I mean, there should have been a clue, you know, a couple hundred years ago when people were having their humors healed with leeches so that they could balance out how much blood was in their body. But I guess not everybody realized that that just doesn't work, and it doesn't work today either. Now they're just doing a modern way of doing the same thing. They've just been doing the same thing.
We switched from leeches to drugs.
Well, I mean, I'm not promoting or putting down drugs, but what they're doing today is really disturbing. So I admit, I mean, I got to come clean with you guys. I actually did write this book, and I put my name on the book for a reason, so that people could come and find me. So it's called The Skolnikov Method, New Medicine for a New You, Inflammation Solutions Handbook. I don't think you can really see the whole thing, but
it's not bad. It's pretty good.
I tried to get the lighting good.
There we go.
My what happened was this. I mean, again, I don't want to like be hiding stuff from you. So when I was young, my health was so, and then I had this really bad acne, like a cystic acne. So I would be looking in the mirror, and I was at this job, and I would see more than 2 eyes looking back at me. I think I saw like a good 4 to 5 eyes, and I thought, wow, you know, this just isn't right. So I'd proceed to go look more carefully in the mirror what was going on, and then I would push in, and an explosion would take place, and all this pus would then be applied onto the mirror, and then I'd have to wipe off the pus. And this process might continue because there wasn't just, like I said, 2 eyes, there was about 4 or 5. So after I finished doing all that, then I would apply makeup. And yes, I'm a male, obviously, even if my voice doesn't give it away quickly. And so then the whole thing was just kind of like a little bit nutty. And there was nobody I could go to. My father was a psychiatrist. My mother still is and was an anthropologist. And they sent me to a dermatologist, and the dermatologist gave me different kinds of drugs. I went from something called, everybody knows of, like benzoyl peroxide. It's just this thing you can usually get at like a pharmacy. And then I used something else called Stridex pads, which is like a salicylic acid. I know you should be laughing. Kyle and Brandon, you guys should be laughing just like Robert here, in case you were wondering what you're supposed to be doing. So, and then I used this other thing called Retin A, which is for women who have too many wrinkles. And then I used all these different things. And finally they said, well, you got to use the big daddy of the acne medications, Accutane. So I used the Accutane, right? I didn't know that this stuff would later have like a class action lawsuit against the company, and they would be paying out, I don't know how many millions or billions of dollars, but sure enough, I use this Accutane, and I'm making a very long story as short as I can, which is usually the opposite of what I'm doing. Usually I'm taking a short story, making it long, but yeah, the Accutane caused me to have a toxic liver. So I would have symptoms that were similar to the symptoms that it said on the back of the label of the Accutane. Wait, I'm sorry, I'm confused. I had symptoms, I had the effects. No, No, I didn't have any symptoms, actually. Those were the known effects of the medication. So some people take Prozac, which is fine, but they don't realize 20% of the people that were researched before the clinical trials for Prozac, before they let it out on the market, and you can read this in Dr. Peter Bregan's New York Times best-selling book, talking back to Prozac, 20% of the people would get so depressed they would commit suicide before they even let it out onto the market. Then
Well, that's
the
not
FDA,
good.
huh?
So that's not good.
Well,
so Dr. Ilya, how
it's
can
just
people
a
get your
minor
book?
effect. It's just a minor effect. It was known before they put it out on the market. So anyway, I talk about all this kind of stuff in my book.
How can people get your book?
I mean, definitely get my book. You can get it anywhere books are sold. I just suggest going to skolnikoff.com. That's the SKOLNIKOFF.com.
Perfect.
But you can also get it, on, Barnes and Nobles. You can type in Skolnikoff, or you can get it at,
Well, Dr. Ilya, one of the introductions I'm supposed to be making is to this young man, Kyle Gray. And so I'm going to let Kyle jump on, ask you to stay for just a couple minutes so Kyle can share what he's doing and the impact he's making in the world. He's living off the grid in Hawaii.
Oh, man, I want to be more like Kyle Gray.
There you go.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, I appreciate you. That was a powerful story. And excellent, really putting us in the moment there. Anyway, Robert, thank you so much for having me. I was just looking at my episodes. I've been doing podcasting for almost 4 years, and I'm nearly at 250, and then I'm just 300 as an achievement. And you've been here already 2 hours, bringing all of these incredible people through. I've already been dazzled. I've been here like 5 minutes, and just the few people I've heard already, I'm like, man, I would love to know that person. Man, I would love to know that person. And so thank you for this achievement and for having me be a part of it.
Well, Kyle, I appreciate you. Would you share real quick what you do in the world and where people can find you?
Yeah. My passion is working with leaders in many of the cutting edges of technology and science. I work with health. I work with a lot of experts like you, Dr. Skolnikoff, as well as leaders in cryptocurrency, artificial intelligence, and psychedelics for personal development and personal growth. And what these people all have in common is they're incredibly passionate, they're incredibly talented, and they're incredibly steeped in experience. And because of all of that, it becomes very hard to organize and categorize and say just the right story when you have 10,000 really good stories. And so I help people take all of the brilliance that they have in their head and use storytelling so it can land in the hearts of their audience and really create the results that they're looking for.
I love that, Kyle. I know you do that through an interview process and really getting down to what's their heart story and what is the story that'll really reach their ideal avatar. And love what you're doing. Where can people find you, Kyle?
You can find me at thestoryengine.co. That is the title of one of my books. It is also the title of my podcast. All kinds of great resources on storytelling, incredible interviews. Yours will appear there soon. And you can also find me on Instagram at Hey Kyle Gray. I'm often posting reels that are either funny, at least to me, or useful for speaking and storytelling.
Kyle, thanks so much for coming on. Dr. Ilya, thank you for joining us for our 300th celebration. Love both your stories. Love the impact that you guys are making. And last but not least, my friend Brandon, so excited to have you here. We talked to Mark earlier. I threw him off his game a little bit because I asked him a pointed question about you. So I put him on the spot.
Good.
And man,
you probably wasn't expecting that.
He was not expecting that. No.
You took him out of his train of thought, and now he's like, I got to divert over here to this station.
I did a little bit, but
nice.
I love the mentorship and relationship that you've had, the connection that you've had with Mark, and the impact that that's had on your life, but also on Mark's life. And so I wanted to just, hear it from the other side. Obviously, you and I have been friends and having great conversations about the impact Mark has made in your life. And so asking Mark about, your impact. And of course, all he wanted to do was celebrate what you're doing with HOA and the impact you're making in creating communities that really matter, communities and relationships, and allowing homeowners to have access to resources without having to work so hard to get the help they need to take care of their home and their family. And so tell us a little bit about HOA and what you're doing and your big dream.
Yeah, man. Well, so number one, we believe that there's a better way to HOA. Most people don't love their homeowner association, but over 53% of all homeowners in the US live in an HOA. So we're out to completely transform the way that those organizations are serving their clients, because I think they forgot that they're actually there to serve their homeowners instead of just be the community cops. So really at the core, what we're doing, we're creating Nextdoor meets Angie's List meets Zillow, and building online community pages for every neighborhood in America, and then connecting those homeowners to professionals they can trust. And so that's why we're so excited. We're launching this here in the next 6 weeks. So it's coming up quick, and it's super exciting. We're grateful to have partnerships like yours, Robert. And I can't believe 300 episodes, man. That is a massive, massive achievement. Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and obviously some of the introductions that you've made and referrals that you've made, because you're the referral king, have been so influential, not just in my podcast, but in my life. And I'm building my business and my future businesses all on referrals. And so it's built on a foundation of the work that you teach, the work that Bob Berg teaches, and just really appreciate all that you're doing and all that you're teaching. And I appreciate our friendship. And so thank you for leaning into my life, and thank you for coming on and helping us celebrate 300.
You know, it's my pleasure. And you brought up Mark Victor Hansen, and likewise, I feel the same. Like, that man has made such an impact in my life and hundreds of millions of people. And Robert, that's what I'm committed to doing with you. As you know, I'm on a mission to uplift, inspire, and empower every person on the planet. And I know you share that vision. And so together we will go make a difference every day.
Well, that's the power of this podcast, is the ability to uplift, inspire. Today, we've had people in Germany, Hawaii. We've had a couple of people from Hawaii jumping on. Our friend Laban was in India, and just all over the planet. And we've had this 2-hour conversation celebrating our 300th episode. And if you didn't get a chance to listen to just the little snippets from these folks, you need to go back and re-listen, because this episode was fantastic. This was, I'm overwhelmed by the greatness that everybody just brought in telling us about what they're doing and the impact they're making in the world. And I'm just inspired to go out and record 300 more episodes.
Let's go. Best is yet to come.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you so much for coming on the show today and celebrating with us. Appreciate you. And I will continue to make referrals and connections. I hope Kyle and Dr. Ilya, I'll send an email just to connect you guys too, because I think you guys could do some great stuff together. And Brandon, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you in 8 days pretty soon. So I think you're coming to Denver and going to be a keynote speaker at an event here. And I'm just looking forward to, hanging out and having lunch and making some more introductions.
You got me for 4 days, man. Let's make it a party.
We are absolutely going to fill those 4 days up with something.
I look forward to it. Thanks, Robert.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for helping us celebrate. Noel, jump in here. And we're just going to say, whoop, Noel jumped out. Just thank you, everybody, for being a part of Add Valued Entrepreneurs, our podcast serving entrepreneurs, helping entrepreneurs find their way. And if you're struggling in your business and you're not finding the happiness and the joy that you started your business for, reach out, listen to some of these folks that have been sharing their stories about their businesses. We just talked to 30 influential people that all could help you. And of course, Noel and I are available and love to help entrepreneurs. That's who we serve and who we want to influence. And so if you're struggling and you're frustrated in your life and business, find somebody to give you some support, find somebody to lean in on your relationship and your business. And entrepreneurship doesn't have to be hard. It can't be simple necessarily, but it shouldn't make you miserable. And so we want to lean in and help people love what they're doing, love the impact that they're making. I'm on a mission to end entrepreneurial unhappiness, and I help that by I do that by helping entrepreneurs act like the CEO of their company and stop running around like a chicken with their head cut off. So lean in and let's grow some amazing businesses and make some big impact in the world. Thank you everybody for helping us celebrate 300 episodes. This has been amazing. Like, I am fired up and overwhelmed and overjoyed with the blessings I've received over the last 2 hours. Thank you for tuning in to this episode, brought to you by the power of intentional decisions that lead to massive action. Those aren't just buzzwords. They're qualities that can help you take control of your life and build a successful business. To support you on this journey, we're offering you our most popular survey to help you establish a baseline. Visit enjoybizlife.com to check it out and take the first steps towards changing your life and business. We often make things more complicated than they need to be, losing sight of what's truly important. This tool will help you refocus on what matters most so that you can start doing the things you've always wanted to do, like spending quality time with loved ones. And if you enjoyed this episode, please show us some love by liking, subscribing, or leaving a review. But most importantly, share it with someone who needs to hear it. In our next episode,